Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Why Linux is simply better than Windows and Mac? By same time, let me like the video and take off my fedora for the ladies. Let's see the video.
Hi, I'm Sam Tucker, and choosing an OS for your computer can be very hard these days. With Windows coming with spyware pre-installed and calling it a feature, and Apple keeping your data private until it sends it to ChatGPT. You may be looking for an alternative, and let me tell you, when it comes to the rest, Linux is the best. Welcome to why Linux is simply better than Windows, Mac, or any other operating system in the world. Starting, of course, with freedom. When you install Linux, you can take a deep, calm breath, knowing that your private data isn't being sent off to some Microsoft server, or that your hand is being held by Grandpa Tim, who doesn't even know what a computer is.
What's a computer?
No, with Linux, the OS is built to fulfill the user, not to fulfill Tim Cook's pockets.
Thank you and have a
True,
great day.
that's actually true.
Now, with that freedom, of course, comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of potential to really f up your computer.
You can
See,
really,
while
I-
Apple and
Yeah, it's funny because Windows and Mac, they really try to stop you from deleting your whole system and all that stuff. But Linux, they don't, they do it for a little bit, but not really, not that much. So I mean, if you want to delete something and you will tell it, hey, actually delete it, I mean, then you can be pretty screwed.
Windows, to some extent, put up the guardrails and bubble wrap for their users, Linux throws you into the deep end of the pool and then closes the pool and throws it into the sixth circle of hell, called the terminal. See, rather than having a button you click to do something, with Linux, they prefer to talk to their god directly, called sudo. In a very strange language that's a mix between Newspeak and Klingon. Sudo marker install, sudo system knowledge. But you'll have more time to focus on that because Linux comes with less bloatware and viruses.
True.
See, one benefit of being less than 5% of the desktop market share means that hackers don't really bother making many viruses for Linux.
Really?
Making it
I thought it was like 1 to 2%. Wow, that's
relatively
5 is
safe
a lot.
environment to have on your computer. Heck,
And now imagine that it's like, I'm not sure. I think it's like 30% when it comes to the servers. Many servers run on Linux, like 30%. So that's
if you want to go all the way,
Right.
FreeBSD just hit 0% of the market. Just imagine how few viruses they have. Not only are there less viruses slowing you down, but your Linux computer is not going to come pre-installed with too much useless bloat on it, like Windows machines might. In fact, with Linux, you can debloat it so much that it just becomes text. Isn't that
Yeah,
pretty? Of
that's-
course, a lot of the reason that there's not much bloat with Linux is because, well, it's just not compatible with it. I mean, while most companies make apps for Windows and Mac, on Linux, if you want to change your Logitech mouse settings, you'll have to input fine numerical details into a text document. And that's after installing dependencies, building the project, and creating a config file. Oh my God, Linux just put a slider in.
I will show you the beauty of free software. These are scripts other people have written. They don't work really well.
On the plus side, another thing you won't see pushed into your Linux install is all this AI stuff. Now, is that because the Linux makers couldn't figure out AI? Or is it because AI couldn't figure out Linux? Hard to say. But hey, at least Linux gives you choice and is cheap. Of course, you might say that macOS is free, but that's if you bought a $5,000 block of aluminium to go with it. But with
True.
Linux, you're not locked inside the walled garden of Apple. Has no one else noticed that Apple's
You can
headquarters is
do a lot
literally
on
a walled
Linux
garden? No?
if you know how to use
Just
it.
me? And you can buy and build the computer that you want from a list of components that support Linux. I mean, sure, Linux could work on a bunch of...
This is like, come on now. Hey guys, you can run pretty much all of your, setups on Linux. This is pretty unnecessary to like say or mention in the video. Linux will work pretty much on all hardware. Maybe if you got the newest versions, like the newest Ryzen, newest Intel, it might take like let's say like realistically couple more weeks, maybe even a couple months at most, but then it's just supported. Most of you running Linux don't even have the best of specs, right? You're looking into Linux just because you want maybe something new, better privacy, or better performance. The biggest thing for me is the privacy and performance because I actually tried Linux already a couple of times, so it's not that new to me, but I still have things to learn.
Different configurations, but if you want the sound to sound and the screen the right way round, it's best to check first. And even then it's only 50-50. Oh God. But with Linux, there's a bunch of different distros you can try out that should suit your configurations and needs. Like bring life to an old laptop with a light Linux distro. Or get the best out of your beast pewter with a gaming focused one. There's Temple OS for the religious and Miley Cyrus OS for the ungodly. They're all free to try out, and you can even save the OS onto a USB stick and live boot from it without even having to install the thing. And that is why Linux is simply better. If you disagree, then check out our other videos in the series. And if you'd like to know how everything I just said about Linux is technically incorrect, then just scroll down to the comments to read the Linux community comments. They'll be the really long ones. Subscribe today. I still say that Windows is simply better than Mac OS. And Linux, let me tell you why. Windows works with all the latest software, all the latest games, and all the latest viruses. It's got it all.
Well, yeah. It's like, honestly, Linux is the best of all of them. The only thing I don't like about Linux is the compatibility. Some programs just, don't want to work. For example, I know about Adobe. I heard that Adobe can't even run on Linux with the compatibility layers. I don't know if it's true though. And like, for example, Vegas, Vegas Pro, which I used to edit my videos, that can work, with limitations. And then games, some run natively, such as Minecraft, but some run with the compatibility things. Yeah, it's alright, it's, like as your computer ages, Linux makes more and more sense. Because, for example, I can't play Valorant because I don't have the TPM module, right? And my Windows isn't fully updated. So these are two reasons why I can't play Valorant or League of Legends. Then for example, World of Tanks, I tried. It was throwing out that it cannot make a secured connection, which I'm assuming is because there are no certificates, which you can just download and install. It's fine, I would get that. But Yeah, I mean Roblox. Yeah, Roblox is a big thing. I don't know. The devs are probably. I don't know what's up with them. Yeah, but they haven't invested in Roblox for Linux yet. Pretty crazy, right? But hey, it's how it is. Anyways, thank you for watching. Original in the description. Bye bye.